All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful tools in the entire Salesforce universe, Flows. We're going to talk about how you can automate all sorts of complex business processes. And the best part? You can do it all without writing a single line of code. So let me start by asking you a question. Are you just tired? Tired of those repetitive, mind-numbing tasks? The ones that eat up your day and have you thinking, there has to be a better way to do this. I mean, think about it. Imagine your company is signing up tons of new customers every day. That's great. But manually typing out and sending a personalized welcome email to every single one, that is unbelievably time-consuming. And let's be real, it's a perfect way for mistakes to creep in. Now, that's just one small example, but this kind of problem scales up fast. So let's look at a more real-world scenario to see what the true cost of all this manual work really is. Okay, picture a big car company. We'll just call them Ford for this. Every single month, they want to reward their top-performing sales reps. It's a great idea. But right now, the whole process is completely manual. A sales manager has to sit down, pull up all the numbers, evaluate every single rep, figure out who the winner is, and then personally draft and send them an email. It's a huge drag on their time. But what if that entire process could just happen, all by itself, with no manual work at all? Well, this is exactly where our hero, Salesforce Flow, steps into the picture. This is the kind of problem it was born to solve. So what exactly is Salesforce Flow? Well, think of it as a super powerful automation tool that lets you build things visually. It uses what's called a declarative or point-and-click approach. It's kind of like building with digital Legos. You're just snapping these pre-built blocks of logic together to create something amazing, instead of having to write out all the instructions from scratch in code. And when you put them side by side, the transformation is just wow. It's night and day. The old manual process, which took hours of a manager's valuable time, is now completely hands-off. The flow just runs on its own, it uses real-time data to instantly identify the top performer, and it sends out that personalized email immediately. The problem is just gone. But here's the thing. Flow isn't just one single tool. It's more like a whole toolkit. And to use it right, you need to know which tool to grab for which job. So let's meet the two main types of flows you'll be working with. First up, we've got screen flows. The name kind of gives it away. These are the flows that need a person to interact with them. They're absolutely perfect for guiding a user through a process step by step. Think of things like a complex loan application or a guided setup for a new customer. You're basically presenting screens to the user to get the information you need. And then on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have auto-launched flows. These guys run totally in the background, no user interaction needed whatsoever. They're kicked off by some kind of event, like a contact record being updated, or they can run on a schedule, just like in our Ford example. So right there, you see the two main modes of automation, one that works with a user and one that works completely on its own. Okay, so right about now, you might be thinking, this sounds pretty powerful, but maybe a little complicated. But honestly, the process for building one is surprisingly visual and pretty intuitive. Let's take a quick look at how a flow actually comes to life. It really comes down to 5 core steps, starting with picking your flow type. But the real magic, the part you'll love, is in the drag and drop builder. It's this visual canvas where you literally drag elements on and connect the dots to map out your process. You configure each box, you test it to make sure it does what you want, and then you activate it. It feels a lot less like coding and a lot more like drawing a flowchart or a map. So why is everybody in the Salesforce world talking about flow all the time? Why is this such a big deal? Well, let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, at the real impact this tool is having. The benefits go way beyond just saving a few minutes here and there. This is about fundamentally changing the way your whole team works. When you automate those complex, repetitive processes, yeah, you increase efficiency, but what you're really doing is freeing up your people. You're giving them back their time to solve bigger problems, to innovate, and to do that critical, strategic work that a machine could never do. Now, if you've been around Salesforce for a while, you might know about older tools like Workflow Rules and Process Builder. And look, they were great for their time, but they really can't hold a candle to Flow. Those older tools are good for simple if this, then that kinds of tasks. But Flow is built for the complexity of the real world. It can handle advanced logic, interact with users. It's just the most powerful and flexible tool in the no-code automation toolkit, period. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Salesforce itself is pushing everyone towards Flow as the primary automation tool for the future. That's why moving your old automations from Workflow Rules and Process Builder over to Flow isn't just a good idea anymore. It's now officially considered a best practice to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you've seen what's possible, I want you to think about your own day-to-day work. What's that one tedious, annoying process that you're just dying to get rid of? What's the first thing you're going to automate? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.